Nothing irritates me more than a man. The end.
Whoever fought for women to get jobs. Why? Why did we do that? I am so tired. I want to just put my feet up. Like, I am... Oh my god.
Notice she said we. Why did we fight for the right to work? So nothing irritates you more than feminism. Modern feminism. Because it's not men that did that to us.
This is what's so ironic about the feminist movement. The things that feminists will hate men for, they're just so ambitious and they don't care about their families and they're never home, or all men, they just sleep around, they're so promiscuous. The things that feminists hate men for, they're also telling women, you should do these things to feel fulfillment. So they're hating on men for this stuff, but also saying we need to be equal to men. It's like, do you hate them or do you want to be equal to them? They're telling women, you need to be less relational. You need to care less about your babies and care more about your career. In 1916, you had Margaret Sanger. She introduced the contraceptive pill. She was now telling women, you don't have to be a slave to these children of yours. I can have sex with whoever I want to, as much as I want to, and there will not be the burden of children. So they're hating on men for this stuff, but also saying we need to be equal to men. It's like, do you hate them or do you want to be equal to them? Like, what's going on here?
Feminism is meant to be about equality, but nowadays people have turned into becoming superior to men, hating them, because they are the reasons for our problems in life. So I get her point.
And it's not that I hate everything about feminism. I mean, obviously I'm here for equality, duh. However, I think that there are man-hating feminists, and then there are feminists. I just think that those are two separate things, and I think the man-hating ones are corny. I think it's mad corny. I think it's mad weird. I think it's mad misandrist. And I make fun of that, because that's something to be made fun of. Just like a man being a misogynist. Other men should be like, that guy's a freaking weirdo. He hates women. There's something wrong with him. That's exactly what I'm doing in reverse. I'm calling out misogynists. Hey, there's something weird about this girl. She hates men. That's crazy. That should be called out, not applauded. I know that some of y'all are really, really hurt by some of the men in your life, but that does not mean that we applaud misandrists. That does not mean that we applaud misogynists. Nobody should be so hurt by the other gender that they are just rooting for their downfall and oppression. That's insane. That's insane. Neither gender is superior. We are two halves of the same coin, and we should work together in order for us to succeed or even continue on this planet. Why do I have to preach that to people? This is crazy.
I'm repeatedly told that misandry doesn't exist. It's just my misogyny reacting to equality, when I clearly see double standards and bad actors.
I don't believe in feminism. I think that if men are willing to do more and do more, then they should make more. That's the first argument. Everybody's like, men shouldn't make more money than women. I don't want to be a carpenter. Get up for me. I want your seat. Like, there's no reason we should get rid of those pieces of chivalry all for feminism. I don't know. Like you said earlier, we're taking it too far. We're taking it too far. I think that there are certain positions in society that are comfortable for a woman. And when you start pushing the men out of the other positions, then the women have to step into the ones that are uncomfortable for women. And I'm not willing to do that.
But feminism is saying that if a woman wants to do more and does do more, then they should be compensated the same as a man would be. Too late now.
An uncomfortable conversation that needs to be had is that our generation has been raised by women who hate men. I'm not just talking about mothers, I'm talking about school teachers, I'm talking about therapists, anybody that played a role in a child's development. They have actively tried to teach us that masculinity is toxic, but the truth is, their negative experiences that they had with men were not of the nature of masculinity. It was the fact that the man himself was toxic, completely separate of masculinity. Now, obviously, there are a bunch of women who, don't hate men, but the problem is that academia and the media have been pushing this narrative to suppress masculinity and masculine traits such as assertiveness or leadership under the scope of them being dangerous. Men have been taught to feel ashamed of themselves and to respect women, but never what to do when a woman disrespects you. And this doesn't just have negative effects on men, it's women too. There are so many women of the younger generations that actively have this negative attitude towards men that's extremely prevalent, and anybody with an IQ above 5 understands this if they go out in public, where it's like they're very entitled and they're disrespectful towards men. And obviously it's not all of them, but it's something that like needs to be addressed. And no, I don't think this makes me oppressed. I'm not throwing a pity party, but it is an issue that I believe that we need to address.
Masculinity, in general, is misunderstood by modern women. They all want to be masculine without accountability. They want selective masculinity and femininity.
But there's something vengeful about it. I think at moments I feel like there's something vengeful about the modern feminist movement, which is, let's get them, let's diminish them, let's take over, let's push them out, let's beat them up, let's show them something really vengeful. So for me, the feminist movement was meant to create balance. It wasn't meant to set into play this other kind of imbalance. And, more than, I think 60% of universities are women now, as well as graduate schools. And so that means, and the studies show that men will marry at their educational level or below. Women will only marry at their educational level or above. And by diminishing men so much in terms of our education and professions, we've basically taken men's purpose away. They feel purposeless.
Feminism was created to poison families and individuals. There, I said it.
Constantly amazed how many women think feminism is a good thing. Women have been so lied to. Feminism was created to separate families. We valued our sense of independence so much that it took away our strong sense of family unit. Kids are being raised by government childcare. Women are working just as many hours as the men are, but are still expected to go home and take care of their children. It's a 24/7 job to be a woman living in America. This isn't the American dream. The American dream is living off of one income, the man provides, and we depend on them. The American dream would be women taking care of themselves, the home, their children, their husband. Women are meant to be gardening, cooking good food, nurturing the ones that they love. That's when women get a strong sense of self, and when they're in their true feminine energy, that's when they thrive. You cannot convince me that women were meant to work a 9-to-5 job just like a man is. You see other women being taken care of. Maybe they're cooking, they're taking care of the children, and they're being there present. And you think, wow, I would love that. When a woman is in her soft feminine era, she thrives. And that's what any woman wants. Society has brainwashed us to think independence is a good thing, when in reality, it just breaks families apart. Now, don't get me wrong, I think feminism can be a good thing, but I just feel like it shouldn't have come at the cost of losing the family unit. Nobody has a strong sense of family, and why is that? I would strongly suggest that feminism, independence, been girl bossing a little too hard, took away the strong urgency of having a family.
99.9% of women still prefer this way. They still prefer their independence, even with the hardships it comes with. Let them be.
Feminism is a scam.
Feminism is a scam. I do not want to be independent. I want to be so codependent. I need my husband. I want my husband. I want to follow his lead. That's how God created me. He created me in a way to follow. He created me as a helpmate. He created me as an opposite to Adam, right? If women could be a woman, if women acted like women
instead of men,
because
they're acting like men,
we'd have better men.
Oh, now you say so. When all the men are done with your bullshit, now you realize the way God created you. Wow.
How have people still not realize that feminism is a sham? It's a scam. I'm telling you, it is a robbery. It's robbery of womanhood. Because my thing is like, everything they push for is opposite of what actually truly makes women happy and fulfilled. And I'm just like, how are people not seeing that? It's sad because people don't realize it until later on in their 40s, 50s, when they're single, they have no children, no family, and they were taught and pushed that in their 20s, they should be going out, they should be meeting as many partners as they can, experiencing life, enjoying and doing all of that. But then it's like, it becomes harder to have children. It becomes harder to settle down and get married. I'm not saying that it's impossible and no one can't, but it's true, like in your 20s, it's easier to meet somebody and start settling down and getting married. Like as you get older, those things get harder. But it's like we're pushed to pursue career and selfish desires in our 20s. And then as we get older and mature, it's like that's when we should start thinking about that.
Modern feminism has convinced so many women to miss out on some of the best things in life, and then complain and cry in their 40s about how brutal life was.
I'm now sitting here at 25 having to figure out how to get back in these streets. So 10 years down the line, I'm not sitting there single still with my daughter being an only child. Like, I want to have a family. I want to have kids. I want to be happy.
Here's another example of feminism failing women. It's not natural for a female to not have a guy. You guys get that? Like this whole concept of women being strong and independent and being able to provide for themselves, this is a new construct that's evolved maybe within the last 60 to 70 years. 100 years of women being independent is not going to override thousands of years of ingrained biology where women needed to rely upon men. Let's get into some of the topics in hand. Okay, so this video came up on my feed. I had to cover it. Okay, as you guys know, it's red pill shit, right?
Guys are so lucky. You guys do not understand. So I'm 25, right? I'm sitting here and I'm having to build a roster. I'm having to sit here and go out and do things I don't want.
All right, she's 25 years old, so she sees the walls closing in, right? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, life is great. Woo, forever 21, right? But now she's right in the middle of her peak. And she realizes from here, it's only downhill. Now, women react to this in different ways. Some women have a meltdown like this girl's about to have right now. And then others think that they got more time.
Want to do. I don't want a roster. I don't want to go out and date. I don't like this hookup culture. I don't like any of it. But I feel like I don't have a choice. Men, you guys just get to sit there and you guys can go wait until you're in your 30s, you're almost 40, and you can just go get with a girl that's in her 20s and live a normal life. Girls don't have that luxury. I'm now sitting here at 25 having to figure out how to get back in these streets so I can figure out, so 10 years down the line, I'm not sitting there single still with my daughter being an only child. Like
Well, there you go. That's a big part of the reason why she's waking up. It's a big part of the reason why she's waking up right there, chat.
I want to have a family. I want to have kids. I want to be happy. Like, I want all of these things.
You know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this one time through with zero commentary, then we're going to watch it again and give commentary. I think that's the best way to do it. So you guys get it raw with zero interruptions.
Guys are so lucky. You guys do not understand. So I'm 25, right? I'm sitting here and I'm having to build a roster. I'm having to sit here and go out and do things I don't want to do. I don't want a roster. I don't want to go out and date. I don't like this hookup culture. I don't like any of it. But I feel like I don't have a choice. Men, you guys just get to sit there and you guys can go wait until you're in your 30s, you're almost 40, and you can just go get with a girl that's in her 20s and live a normal life. Girls don't have that luxury. I'm now sitting here at 25 having to figure out how to get back in these streets so I can figure out, so 10 years down the line, I'm not sitting there single still with my daughter being an only child. Like, I want to have a family. I want to have...
Well, that's a sad video. But where are all your girlfriends who kept hyping you up this whole time? Yup, nowhere to be found, because they can't even see each other happy, let alone help them with good advice.
Honestly, and I'm probably going to get eaten alive for saying this, I feel like a lot of women have forgotten their place. And we live in this inverted world, and I feel we got stuck in this whole feminism thing. Feminism is a scam, and now it's like trying to undo. It is. Feminism, I don't care what anybody says. Yes, we are equal in value, but we are not equal in traits. We are different. Men and women are different.
I agree with that.
And I'm so sick and tired of why are we fighting to be something that we're not? I am not a man. I will never be a man. And for those of you that make that decision, I love that for you. Period. But there are certain things that are just, y'all are stronger than we are. We are more detail oriented than you are. There are certain traits that we naturally got from God based on the gender that we are. And it's all based on survival. It's all based on human nature. And so I feel like a lot of women, not all women, but most women have forgotten their place.
Within themselves,
within the order of family, within the order, even like with God, You know, if you just want to start blanketing statements, like, now this is the thing. If you are a masculine woman, that's fine. But stop acting like you're feminine. If you want to be a boss, babe, I don't need no man. You go do you, boo. But stop teaching that that's the answer. Because I'm sick and tired of this divide of the family. I'm sick and tired of now good men, like, and I'm listening to like stories, right? Good men are getting lazy in dating. They're getting lazy in the pursuit because women are making either everything too easy or they're too hands off. So now what's the point in even trying to date a woman when you're the man that you want me to be?
She is definitely going to get the worst bashing of her life for speaking out about all this.
Feminism is a scam. I don't care how educated I am, how smart I am, how much money I make. I will always be a traditional conservative woman. I am not a feminist. I cannot do, and nor do I desire to do everything that a man does. And I believe feminism was the breakdown of the American family unit. Somehow I have this belief that if they are successful and educated, that somehow that means that they don't need a man. And the reality is men need women and women need men. And I will die on that hill. When I say traditional family values, I do mean husband, wife, kids. Absolutely be beautiful, smart, educated, and you can also be an amazing wife, an amazing mother. I think it's time for us to bring back traditional family values. So no, I'm absolutely not only conservative when it comes to politics. I'm also conservative when it comes to traditional family values.
It is responsible for the breakdown of the American family unit. There are more degreed, single 50-year-olds than ever. Women are choosing career over family, and we've ended up with a country that doesn't know a man from a woman. Feminism was the start.
Want to know something wild? Women traded family for a 9-to-5 and then they called it liberation. Just think about it for a second. Our grandmothers prayed for husbands so that they could work hard, raise kids, and build a strong home. That was the dream. Security, love, and purpose. Then feminism came along. Told women that being a wife and being a mother is oppressive. So what did we do? We left the home to work for men that don't love us at companies that will replace us the second we get burnt out. That's not freedom, that is slavery in heels. Feminism convinced women that family is a cage and working for a corporate job is empowerment. Tell me this, why do so many women hit 30, are alone, exhausted, and wondering why they feel so empty? It's because you can't outsmart God's design. No promotion will ever replace a husband that loves you and children who adore you. So no, I'm not anti-woman, I'm pro-woman, and pro-woman enough to tell you the truth. Real freedom isn't in a cubicle or a nurse's station, it's in building a legacy. So go forth and multiply.
Even realize it's a scam anymore.
I'm an independent, strong black woman, I don't need no man narrative is a scam. Here's why. Society has conditioned us to believe that we don't need anybody, we don't need any support, and we can do it all on our own. What a lot of us has accepted as normal is really not normal. Households were created to be 2 adults and children. The price points that the world is set in now requires 2 incomes. That's why you're working 2 jobs. And if we are not working 2 jobs, we have told ourselves that we have to go back to school, get higher education so we can make more money, which is a necessity. But wouldn't it be better if you had a whole team member helping you along? Because what ends up happening is, yes, love, your career is great. Yes, I am so proud of you for getting your doctorate. I am so proud of you for buying the house. No, I do not believe that women should wait to progress in life until they have a man. That's not what I'm saying. But we are so guarded and we are protecting ourselves so heavily away from every man that we miss on a good man. We automatically assume that all black men are out to get us. And the more you think something, the more you believe something, and the more you see something. So we cut off all men who are not making at least 6 figures. We tell our baby daddies we don't need them because you're not able to pay us substantial child support. So my kids don't need you. And we don't realize that our black men offer so much more than just their financial provision. They offer protection. They offer guidance. They offer leadership. They offer a masculine energy that absolutely depletes you when you have to provide that. You are created to be feminine. You are created to be the nurturer. You were created to be soft and loving. And we are having to play both roles because we are not allowing any man in out of fear that we're going to get the wrong men. And I understand our concern, but I'm an independent, strong Black woman, I don't need no man narrative is keeping us working way later in life than what we're supposed to. It is keeping us away from the Black men who want to protect us and keep us safe. It is keeping us away from the Black men that would go to the moon and back to make sure that we're happy and healthy, make sure our children are happy and healthy. It is taking away the example of manhood that our sons need and the example of how a man is supposed to love a woman that our daughters need. And it is taking away the opportunity for us to rest. That's why our mother struggled for 60 years and now she is exhausted and she's beat down. We deserve so much more. Let's give it to ourselves.
Viral attention for sharing her regrets about ditching the idea of marriage and family. Now, her article in Business Insider reads, quote, "I'm 38 and single, and I recently realized I want a child. I'm terrified that I've missed my opportunity." That woman's name is Melissa Persling, and she's revealing to Fox News Digital what she thinks caused her current situation. Listen.
I feel unbelievably betrayed by feminism. I was constantly fed this idea that women can do everything. We don't really need men. Women can have the great career and have the kids that they like and change the tires and do this. I mean, I grew up thinking, and men are great, but like I can do all the same things. I do feel in many ways betrayed by that line of thinking. I kind of want to go back to some of those teachers and coaches and say, what the hell did you mean by that? Because women can't do it all. We can't.
Unfortunately, they realize it when it's too late, or mostly when the pretty privilege dries up and they are left facing the ruthless world.
This satirical skit really drives it home, doesn't it?
I wish all men were feminists like you.
All right, here's that check for you, sir. Second of all, how dare you assume that because I'm a man that I'm going to be paying for this whole dinner? Women are fully capable of paying for themselves.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want me to split the bill between you two then?
Actually, why don't we do this so we can really drive this point home for you because you're giving me very misogynistic vibes right now. Leave the entire bill and she will pay for the entire thing because she is a strong, independent woman who does not need a man to provide for her. As a feminist woman, wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, I guess.
In that case, here's the check, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, this is expensive.
Oh, you got it.
Are you gonna help me?
Absolutely not. As a feminist man, I don't want to imply that you can't defend yourself just because you're a woman.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah. Relationship. As a feminist woman, wouldn't you agree with that?
All right. I'm dating a conservative.
Reject delusions. Embrace gender differences.
The hypocrisy of most modern-day women and feminists is that they believe in gender equality until it has to do with men. As soon as other women like myself invalidate them or make them feel some type of way for speaking on men's issues or things that men go through, suddenly equality goes right out the window and everything becomes about misogyny and hatred for women. Really, they're just showing the hypocrisy of the fact that they don't actually believe in equality and gender equality. They only believe in what benefits them. And it's actually quite selfish and very hypocritical. For example, domestic violence only matters when it happens to women. As soon as I bring it up about men, it's not real. Mental health only matters in women and postpartum and all of that and hormones until you mention a man and the suicide rates within men. Gender equality only exists in women until the woman makes more than a man and has to pay out more in a divorce. Gender equality only exists when there's more homeless shelters for women and domestic violence shelters for women than there are for men and veterans. They want gender equality in the workplace until a man has a trade and makes more money in physical labor because they can't do it. Most modern day women and single moms care about gender equality until it comes down to parenting time. Gender equality exists until a man doesn't want a child, but the woman won't abort it either. And the hypocrisy is that they want equality until it has to do with men. Okay, bye.
Well, clearly it isn't about equality. It's about having power over others. And when they don't get it, we see the Me Too movement. Thanks for watching Manhood. If you want access to exclusive episodes and want to support the channel, hit that join button and become a member. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if it hit home. Drop your stories and thoughts in the comments. We read everyone. See you tomorrow.